Nigerian hip hop star Tiwa Savage is currently being dragged by not just South Africans but the whole of Africa. South Africans are not just dragging Tiwa Savage, they're dragging Nigerians and now telling Nigerians to always learn how to mind their business. That they don't mind their business, and that is a major reason why they're always, getting into trouble. Tiwa Savage made an apology. She wasn't asked to apologize, on behalf of South African music star Tyler, and it has caused a lot of conversation on social media. South Africans are not having it. They are not having it at all, and they are telling Nigerians they are 2 cents, warning Tiwa Savage. Some are even going as far as cancelling her music, saying henceforth no more Nigerian music in our home. Guys, I want us to watch people's reactions. How are people reacting to this? And then we come back.
So Tiwa Savage felt compelled to apologize on behalf of Tyler. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. Now, I've been seeing videos online of Tiwa Savage on The Breakfast Club apologizing on Tyler's behalf for calling herself a colored. Now, she tries to make it seem like a noble thing that she's doing by saying, I understand the racial history of America, and I think that Tyler's just a kid, so we must feel sorry for her. We must understand, where she's coming from, being that careless and how she's communicating. And I just thought to myself, Jesus, what are you talking about, Tiwa Savage? Because you really don't want to get involved in this conversation. Look, I love Tiwa Savage. I love her music. I love her drive. I think she's really inspirational. But this is not a conversation she was supposed to be part of. If we needed her help as South Africans, we would have asked her. But you cannot go around erasing an entire group just because you don't like how they describe themselves. In South Africa, the term colored is not an offensive colored. It is used to describe a group of people, and to tell them that they can't call themselves that is to erase their identity and their history. So we're happy that she understands American history, but I think she should have also Googled or researched South African history to know why we do what we do the way that we do, and why Tyler can say that she's colored if she wants to. In a country like America, where people get to choose their gender and their race and all these other things, how are they so mad at somebody for choosing their culture? That time, it's legal for her to call herself a colored in her own country. So how do you take the meaning of that identity and try to make it an American identity because that's the only way you can understand it? It's so weird that Tiwa Savage decided to apologize. I get what she thought she was trying to do, but never apologize on somebody else's behalf. Tyler never said she was guilty of anything. So when you apologize, then you're kind of implicating her in something she's never agreed to be a part of. And you're also implicating South Africans. We never said we wanted to be a part of that. We're never going to apologize for calling a certain group colored, because that's our history. That's what we've agreed to. It is not offensive. It is how we name that group. And that is their identity. And there's a reason why that is the case. It's not offensive. The K word is offensive. Learn about that. There are many other offensive terms, but colored is not one of them. So that's a big no for me with Tiwa.
See, this is where I think Tiwa Savage messed up on her Breakfast Club interview when she was asked about Tyler. She was asked about Tyler identifying as a colored South African person, and basically Tiwa goes ahead and talks about it, but then she also goes ahead and apologizes on the behalf of South Africans and Africans in general, which is super fucking weird because Tiwa is West African, she's Nigerian. And honestly, it's not your place as a West African or any other African from a different part of Africa to speak on South African culture, and vice versa. South Africa is it's in a different region. They have their own history, they have their own language, they have their own tribe, they have their own music, their own dances, everything. And you cannot speak on someone's identity and culture who you do not share and you're not from there. Like, I'm West African as well. I'm Ghanaian, and obviously identify as a black person. And we all know as black people how annoying it is when other non-black people try to speak on our behalf or speak up for us like they're part of our community. That shit's annoying. But I feel like this goes beyond Tiwa and Tyla, because black people are not a monolith. there's so many layers to being Black, and I think that's why it's called the Black diaspora, because within the Black diaspora, you have different continents, different countries, and within those countries, you have different tribes. If you're American, you come from different states, different areas, different cities, different streets you guys grew up, whatever. We're very different just based on where we're from. We sound different history, different language, different music, different dances. Obviously, there's similarities, but at the end of the day, we're not the same, which is why it's called the Black diaspora. We're literally not a monolith. I think that's like the most beautiful thing about being Black, is that we're not the same. We're very different in culture. And I think going forward, we need to start respecting each other's culture and stop speaking up for identities and cultures that aren't yours just because you feel like, oh, we're all Black, we're all in the same culture, we're all in the same diaspora. 2025 going forward, I think it's important for Black people to start respecting other Black people's cultures, and also we need to stop seeing the Black culture through the lens of America and Americans and Black Americans alone. Like, Black people are not a monolith. Again, there's so many layers to being Black, and it's important that we understand this and embrace it, because it's actually such a beautiful and powerful thing. And honestly, it could all just be so simple.
In this life, before you do something for someone or do something on behalf of someone, you have to really ask yourself the fundamental question of who asked me, who sent me, who give me work. Because that is how you go and do, and before you know, you end up in embarrassment that could be taken as unnecessary. Because why are you there? Why are you in that conversation? I need African artists. I was going to say Nigerian, but I need African artists as a whole to stop going on that breakfast club podcast. Yeah, that particular one that fueled the hate that Tyler has been getting from the Black American community by asking her that question about being colored, about being Black. Very unnecessary question. Very unnecessary question. But one thing I have realized, even from recent interviews when it comes to that particular podcast, is that when they interview a lot of African artists, not Black American, African artists, the way their questions are lined up and the way the conversation goes is mostly for them trying to fish for some compliments towards the Black American community. It's mostly them trying to get the African artists that they're interviewing to admit to a particular extent that their success or the numbers that they're making is as a result of them advertising or selling to the Black American community. And I've noticed, because I have watched a couple of their interviews, I have noticed that they do this to only African artists. And I don't even want to try and unpack the psychology behind that, to be very honest. It's not my business. My own is, I need African artists to stop going on that podcast. And if they are going to go, maybe some media training is very much involved. To be very honest, I think the younger artists of this generation are more media trained than the older one. I don't trust a lot of older people, especially a lot of older creatives, especially a lot of older artists. Too many older people, older artists engage in a lot of respectability politics. This need to be liked by the public. This need to be accepted. And of course, this is not me trying to say that younger artists are actually going out to be unlikable. But they are not going to put in their hard work and then come on platforms trying to make them cower, trying to make them doormats, trying to walk all over them just because you enjoy their art or their work. No. With that being said, don't apologize on behalf of anyone. That is why I trust my babe, Ira Star. You will not see Ira going on an interview and you are asking her questions about another art, and she will answer that question knowing fully well that it is not a positive question. If you pass, whose music do you like? Who do you want to work with? My girl does not know. Her hand is constantly like this. I really want a lot of you out there to know that it is really okay for you as a musical artist to go on an interview and be asked the question and say, I don't want to answer that. Or say, I don't have the answer to that. Because if you were on an interview and you were asked why Tyler said what she said, and you did not understand how to answer that question, the simple thing you could have opened your mouth to say is, I think you should ask her when you see her. Or when next you have her on an interview here, you can ask her. Or I really don't know about that situation and I would rather not answer. These are answers that you can give, not forgive her, you know she's young.
Since Miss Savage likes to give apologies on the behalf of people, I am going to give an apology on her behalf, because even though it was out of good intent, I don't think she was trying to be funny or malicious in any way, but it was not her place to speak on Tyla and her wordings and South African culture. Tiwa, you did not grow up in South Africa. You don't know what it means to be a colored person in South Africa. I don't know why the Breakfast Club is obsessed with Tyla and that interview. I guess because she didn't answer a lot of their questions, they're taking it very personal. But you are not a spokesperson for Tyla. You're not a part of Tyla's management. You cannot apologize for her when she did not apologize. She never gave any inkling as to her ever apologizing. If that is her beliefs, if this is her culture and this is how she grew up, it has nothing to do with you. So when they brought that question to you, all you had to do was say skip, or I know nothing about that, or I don't know Tyla, I can't speak for Tyla. It's very simple. The interview is about you and not about Tyla. And the Breakfast Club, they need to stop asking every African female that comes up there about Tyla. If you really want to hear from Tyla, or you feel like Tyla owes people an apology, which she shouldn't, which she doesn't, it's where she grew up. You guys are taking this colored thing too personal. What colored means in America is not what colored means in South Africa. You guys need to let it go. Breakfast Club, let it go.
Tiwa Savage, why are you apologizing on behalf of Tyla? Tyla did nothing wrong. Tyla said she's colored. Then we all went to school. We got an education on what colored means in South Africa, because the world doesn't revolve around the US. Yes, colored is a racial slur in America, but colored is a group of people in South Africa. I thought we covered this. Apologizing on behalf of Tyla implies that she did something wrong by saying that that's what her identity is, when she did nothing wrong. And also, what why are you apologizing for her? I don't get it. Like, did she ask you, did she send you, like, it's weird. It's very weird, you know. What do you guys think about this whole situation?
I am tired of the Tyla discussion. I am tired of the Tyla conversation. And Tiwa Savage going on the Breakfast Club, this radio show that is obsessed with talking about Tyla and the race conversation, and making it seem as if she understands even a little bit of what being a colored South African is really crazy. And then also as if Tyla sent you. Tyla did not send you to apologize. So why are you saying, oh, us as the elders? This is what people get frustrated about. People who pander to Black Americans. Sorry. Because it's not the rest of Africa's problem to fix the fact that Black Americans and Americans at large do not understand Tyla's cultural context. It's her cultural context. It's nobody else's problem to over-explain and get it into their heads. They don't want to understand it, so we leave it. It doesn't change who she is. We let it go. They must be the ones to fix whatever's going on in their minds about what they think or don't think she is. Who she is will not change. So to go there and apologize as if, what, she's going to take it back now and say she's Black? She's not Black. So then what?
Guys, balance me a little bit. What stopped Tiwa Savage from saying, I cannot comment on the race politics of a country I'm not from? Instead of her opening her mouth and apologizing for Tyla about something that didn't need apologizing for. Also, the Breakfast Club, why are they so obsessed with our girl? It's getting scary.
You're welcome to my channel. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuff relating to them. You know this big brother, big sister mindset many Nigerians have? It's the major reason why we always get into trouble. I kind of agree with that lady that said we always feel we are, Nigeria big brother. So when we see South Africa in mess or Ghana in mess, we always want to come and speak on their behalf. I believe with this Tiwa Savage experience, Nigerians will tend to mind their business more. Sincerely, Tiwa Savage didn't really say anything bad. Let's listen to her.
I get why that would be such a huge thing here because of, the history behind that name, I don't know. I think I felt for her a little bit because I feel like she's young and I don't think she means to come across like that. Mm-hmm. But where we're from, where I'm from, when something like this happens, like they say the elder will come and say, on behalf of such and such, we apologize. You know, that's what I feel like. If that wasn't communicated, I would like to say, you know, like on behalf of that her or whatever, like we apologize, like you know, we didn't mean it, forgive us. You know, because I don't think it came from a bad place. You know what I mean? I don't think it came from a bad place.
But the question is that her business? What it concern you? When questions like that are shown at you as a Nigerian about other countries, just be clear. Oh, sorry, I would love not to talk about it. Knowing fully well that topic is a highly controversial topic. Yes. Some saying she's black, some saying she's colored. This whole race thing is a big problem in South Africa. So things like that, just learn to avoid talking about it, particularly as a Nigerian. And it's obvious that Tiwa Savage doesn't have an in-depth knowledge of what is happening in South Africa, or what transpired, or what made Tyler made those assertions. So it would have just been safe for her to say, oh, sorry, I would not love to talk about it, or I don't have a broad knowledge about it. To the extent she went as far as apologizing on Tyler's behalf. Tyler said something unapologetically. So why are you apologizing? Did she offend you? The answer is no. So sometimes we should just learn how to mind our business in this country. We have 1,001 issues. These celebrities never talk about them. What they go, you talk about things nobody asks them of. We have dozens of issues in this country. You've heard the stories on the net, the Christians are buying in Nigeria and all. Never have one of these Nigerian celebrities spoken about it or advocate for the Nigerian people. What they do is put their mouth in conversations. Nobody asks their opinion. And even when they ask your opinion, tell them you don't know. Because many a times, these people are not asking you because they really want to get your opinion. They are asking you because they want to get your opinion and run along with it. And now they've gotten your opinion. Who's receiving the insult? Nigerians. So sensitive issues like that, Tiwa Savage would have just said, oh, sorry, I don't want to talk about it. Or I would respect Tyler's opinion. I would respect her beliefs, than coming to say you're apologizing on Tyler's behalf. Why are you apologizing? I understand that Tiwa Savage, apologized because she didn't like the way Tyler was being dragged on social media about it. But this is a lady that came out to say she identifies herself as a colored person. So it's her opinion. It's her belief. It is something she believes in. It's something she has a conviction about. So leave it the way it is. So that is just what I think. There are some certain topics you should not even involve yourself. Many of these interviews, many of these podcasts are just viewfinders. They'll ask you questions that will put you in trouble. And when the heat comes, you will be the one to take it alone. While the podcasters will be the ones making the views, making the money. So I believe next time when Tiwa Savage goes for an interview like that, or any of these are Nigerian actors, actresses, or musicians go for interviews like that, they would know things to talk about and things not to talk about, because the dragging they are giving this woman on social media is brutal. That's all I can say. To the extent of many people saying they are going to even cancel her, they're going to cancel her in South Africa, they will not play her music anymore, some are deleting her songs. Was it worth it at the end? That's the question. And don't forget, you're Nigerian and South Africans. You already know the beef. So anything you say, even if you say the right thing, South Africans will take it the wrong way. So it's left for you to play safe and mind your business. Feel free to drop your own opinions in the comment section. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the resources related to them. Kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel.